the Integrated National Financing Framework in the Philippines. Together with 85 other countries worldwide, the Philippines is developing its own Integrated National Financing Framework, or INFF.
To develop our own INFF, we do not need to start from scratch because the elements of INFF are already present in the country's planning, budgeting, policy making, and financing mechanisms.
We only need to take a step back to see what systems are already in place, what else needs to be done, and which remaining gaps have to be closed in order to meet the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, by 2030. Guided by the building blocks of INFF, our own joint program can help us identify not only the resources available, but also the partners whom we can rely on to accelerate our progress.
Assessment and diagnostics. First, we must scan the horizon of our country's financing landscape to help make the most out of the range of options that we can find in order to arrive at our desired development path. The Development Finance Assessment, or DFA, is a tool that acts as our lens to find out the cost of our development priorities, the resource needs that we have to fill, and the wide range of sources we can tap, public and private, standalone and blended, domestic and foreign, to finance these priorities. In the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, the DFA comes at a right time. We saw a dip in revenues right when we needed them the most. But by using the DFA, we can gauge how much we still need to recover from the pandemic and get back on track to meet the SDGs. Particularly for goal number 3, achieving good health and well-being for all, our current DFA charts the progress we've made so far in public health, such as preventing deaths among newborns and mothers, increasing access to reproductive healthcare options, and ensuring that the public, especially those farthest behind, get the medical care and service they need through universal health coverage. To approximate the amount of resources from existing financing flows that already go to financing good health for all, we also use the DFA. It is an effective tool for measuring how much we already spent in our health targets and how much more we should mobilize from different sources of revenues and investment strategies. Remember, a healthy population gives rise to a strong economy.
Financing strategy. Going back to our INFF building blocks, the second part entails putting together the pieces that we already have in order to develop comprehensive and relevant financing strategies from a wide range of options. These include targeted strategies such as equity funds, impact bonds, and financial inclusion services to achieve specific national priorities and transformative strategies comprised of frameworks and reforms that will ensure a more efficient use of resources and policies, which can encourage greater investments for development. A significant part of our success in financing the achievement of SDGs relies on how well our public resources are aligned with the global goals.
Monitoring and review. Under this building block, our work on national level SDG budget tagging aims to build a common language that allows us to capture how much is being set aside and spent to achieve these global goals. Amidst competing public priorities, this data-driven exercise can better inform our government partners on the scale and range of financing needed to sustain programs that will help us benefit from the window of opportunity for rapid economic growth that comes with our young and vibrant demographic. For instance, we can prioritize the SDGs that are meant to ensure better access to education, quality health and medical care for all, and gender-inclusive access to basic social services. Through our budget tagging exercise, we are able to map out the programs and services of different government agencies mandated to lead in meeting these specific SDGs. Then, we scan the budgets of our agencies to identify whether their efforts fully or partially contribute to achieving our target goals. We do this by assigning codes to these programs, projects, and activities based on the specific SDG targets to which they contribute. Using performance targets and financial figures from various planning and budgeting documents, we are able to track these programs based on how much resources are proposed, approved, allotted, spent, and continuously monitored for transparency and program performance in order to comply with our national development policies and achieve the SDGs overall. We will then dovetail our efforts with another ongoing initiative by our partners at the Philippine Council for the Welfare of Children. These efforts follow local government investments for children's nutrition, education, and welfare, each corresponding to specific SDGs. At the same time, the budget tagging exercise will entail reviewing the existing linkages among our systems for development planning, budgeting, and performance monitoring, as well as recommending strategies on how we can close the gaps and seamlessly integrate them. Remember, we must be able to link them directly to the global goals so we can better track our progress in meeting them.
Governance and coordination. This building block is all about recognizing that a broad-based country ownership is key to making the INFF work. This is hinged upon the government's solid political will and oversight. Hence, the joint program works closely with existing high-level structures that influence the Philippines' own strategies in fast-tracking the achievement of the 2030 goals. These include the SDG Subcommittee, formed under the Development Budget Coordination Committee, whose members include JP-INFF partners, the National Economic and Development Authority, the Department of Budget and Management, and the Department of Finance, as well as the SDG committees formed by the Congress and Senate. This collaboration ensures engagement with other government agencies, as well as sectors that contribute towards improving the health, education, and overall quality of life of the Filipino youth. Together, their collective guidance can help further refine our DFA and budget tagging tools, as well as other key initiatives related to strengthening the Philippines' INFF processes in every step of the way.
Together, we as partners can use the power of evidence-based decision-making in shaping the future that we want for ourselves, our country, and our planet. A future where we equitably benefit from the progress we can potentially achieve. A future that leaves no Filipino behind. This is the Joint SDG Fund on the Philippines Integrated National Financing Framework,
a joint program on reaping the demographic dividend and managing the socioeconomic impact of COVID-19 by applying an integrated national financing framework in the Philippines.